9.1 Film music 1. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 9.2. What kind of film? Nine point 3. Recommended reads. Part 1.
Welcome to Recommended Reads. I'm Clive Morrison, and my two guests this week are the philosopher Matt Davis. Hello. And TV cook Rosie Garnett.
Hello.
Rosie, you're going to start us off. Which book would you like to tell us about?
I'm going to talk about You Are the Music. It's by Victoria Williamson, a music psychologist. To be honest, it's an unexpected choice for me, given that I don't consider myself a very musical person. But I heard Victoria talking on another radio programme and found it fascinating, so I decided to read this book.
Presumably it's not for music specialists, then?
No, it's basically aimed at the general public. And besides, she makes the point that we're all far more musical than we might realise. I'm one of those people she talks about who claim to be tone deaf. Apparently, nearly a fifth of the population believe that. But it's unlikely to be true. Less than 4% of people actually are tone deaf. They're called amusics and suffer from a neurological condition called amusia. It seems most people who say they can't sing to save their lives just lack confidence, probably from being told they couldn't sing when they were children.
So there's still hope for you then?
Well, I'm not banking on getting a recording contract yet, but she reckons that a few singing lessons would sort most people out. Anyway, the thing I'd never thought about before is how musical life is from the outset. That right back when we were babies in the womb, we heard the world as a kind of music with rising and falling sounds and rhythmic beats.
That doesn't mean that babies in the womb can register musical patterns, though, does it?
Well, yes, apparently they can. In one study, they played a relaxing melody twice a day to mothers in the last weeks of pregnancy. They then played that melody to the babies when they were 6 weeks old while they were asleep, and the babies' heart rates dropped noticeably, showing that they felt more relaxed.
Surely that could have happened even if they hadn't heard it before, though.
They did check for that, and while all babies showed some signs of relaxation when they played the music, the effect was twice as strong with the babies who'd heard it in the womb, so they were recognising it.
Wow, amazing.
And the other thing I hadn't realised was how important musical awareness is to learning a language. And again, that's something that babies register very early. Apparently, babies cry in their own language.
What do you mean?
It's been shown in another study that French babies cry with more rising pitches, whereas German babies' cries have a more of a falling pitch. And that reflects the most common intonation patterns that adult speakers of those languages use.
How funny.
And then you realise how important intonation is for early communication. I mean, just listen to people talking to babies and small children. We call it baby talk. But in the book, she calls it IDS, infant-directed speech. We all do it with babies to some extent, and it is very musical. Big rises from low to high pitch, and a really strong rhythmic pattern. Look who's here to see you! And we do it because babies respond to it so well. They just love it, smiling and giggling away. I realise I still do it with my 4-year-old when I want to communicate something with a lot of feeling. Don't do that! And it's okay, Mummy's here.
So what happens with those people who truly are tone deaf then? Does that make language learning difficult?
Well, yes, they can struggle to recognise what's being implied by different pitch and intonation patterns. Maybe they can't hear much difference between brilliant and brilliant.
9.4 Recommended Reads Part 2
Another thing I could really relate to was what the book says about music and life memories, that different pieces of music become a soundtrack to our lives. As I said, I don't see myself as someone who's especially into music, but if I hear certain songs, they take me back to different periods of my life immediately and very vividly.
Do you think that's true for all periods of your life, even childhood?
Yes, and for that matter, it seems that the earlier you go back, the more powerful the memory. The book emphasises that music plays a very big role in the life of adolescents. Teenage girls in particular say that music is an important way of regulating their moods at a time when emotions do tend to go haywire.
It's an important way of defining what group you belong to, too.
Yes, that's interesting because it's an important way of defining your individuality as a teenager, to say, I'm into heavy metal or soul or rap music. But at the same time, it gives you an important sense of belonging to a group, which adolescents crave. It becomes quite tribal, and most teenagers can't bear the wrong type of music. I love the fact that in Montreal, the authorities were trying to stop large groups of young people hanging around in underground stations, and they eventually hit upon the solution of playing classical music.
Brilliant.
You can also really see the power of musical memory with people suffering from dementia. I checked out some videos about this on YouTube, and it really is incredible. There's this one guy in a nursing home who's completely lifeless, barely speaks to anyone, and he can hardly remember anything about his past life. And yet, if the nurses play some music from his past, he suddenly comes to life. His eyes light up, he starts moving to the music, singing it, and even when it's finished, he keeps talking about all the memories associated with it.
Yeah, I've seen something similar. It seems to connect with something very deep in the brain.
Yes. I learned that there's a bit of the brain called the amygdala, which is linked to our deepest emotional responses, and music has a direct channel to that. That's why film music is so powerful. It can make you cry or feel scared in a way that the film scenes wouldn't do on their own. And after all, someone did once say that essentially music is recorded emotion.
So has it changed your attitude to music, Rosie, reading this book?
Yes, I guess it has. It's made me realise it's never too late to learn to play a musical instrument. So I have a nice fantasy of me playing the piano. And above all, it's made me feel less self-conscious about not knowing much about music. I realise I can enjoy a piece of classical music even though I don't know anything about the composer or the musical form and period it was written in.
Well, you've certainly made me want to read this book. Thank you. Now, Matt, tell us about your book.
9.5 Recommended Reads Extract
To be honest, this book is an unexpected choice for me, given that I don't consider myself a very musical person.
Presumably it's not for music specialists, then?
No, it's basically aimed at the general public. And besides, she makes the point that we're all far more musical than we might realise. I'm actually one of those people she talks about who claim to be tone deaf. Apparently, nearly a fifth of the population believe that.
9.6 Star Voices
Have you been watching Star Voices?
Well, funnily enough, I've just got into it. I caught last week's show and, predictably, I'm hooked.
So, did you see the semi-final last night?
No, unfortunately I was out. But I've recorded it. Was it good?
Well, actually, I was a bit disappointed. Bizarrely, Anna, the blonde girl, didn't get through to the final, even though she was obviously the best by far. Surprisingly, she seemed fine about it, though.
Oh, she was my favourite too. Well, no doubt she'll get a recording contract anyway. Amazingly, her performance from last week has had over 1 million YouTube hits.
9.7. Discourse markers. 1,
I'd thoroughly recommend that new pizzeria. The pizzas are amazing. Mind you, it's expensive.
2. I can't go skiing so soon after my accident. It's too much of a risk. Besides, I can't really afford it. 3.
Why are you worried about asking Tom to lend you the money? Surely he wouldn't say no to you. It would be very unlike him.
4.
Tina must be upset about not getting promoted.
Actually, she doesn't seem to care that much.
5.
The builders have done the job pretty quickly, given that the weather's been poor.
6.
I think you expect too much of Amy. You need to be realistic about her behaviour. After all, she's still a teenager.
7.
Guess what? Simon's finally got a new girlfriend. Apparently, he met her at a conference.
8.
So, I reckon that's why Petra's looking so happy these days. Anyway, I guess I better be going.
9.
Oh, it would be great if you got into drama school. By the way, have you heard about Robin's plan to move abroad?
10.
We didn't see a single whale or dolphin on our whale-watching cruise. Still, at least the weather was good.
9.8. Have you heard?
Have you heard that Jan is thinking of marrying Simon?
Surely not. She's only known him 3 months, and quite honestly, I'm not sure what she sees in him.
I know what you mean. Mind you, the money must help. After all, he is a millionaire. Where did he get his money from?
Apparently, he made a fortune from an app he created. That's what I heard.
I'm surprised he wants to get married, given that he's been married 3 times before.
Actually, I think it's just twice.
Well, you'd think that was enough. Presumably they'll have a huge wedding.
Of course they will. Still, good luck to them. By the way, did you hear that Sarah and Jeff had a car accident?
Oh no! What happened?
It wasn't too serious. They skidded into a tree, but luckily they weren't going fast. The car's a write-off. But at least neither of them was injured.
Oh, thank goodness for that. I should get in touch with Sarah, but I haven't got her new email address.
I can give it to you. As a matter of fact, I've got it on my phone. Let me have a look. Yes. Here it is. I'll forward it to you.
Thanks. Anyway, I must be going. Nice to talk to you.
And you. Bye.
9.9. Complete the lines. 1.
Hello. Your face looks familiar. Have we met before?
Actually, I don't think we have.
2.
I'd like to be famous. All those girls wanting to go out with you. All those parties. Mind you, it must be awful never having any privacy.
3.
We forgot to take the sat-nav with us and didn't have a road map in the car, and, inevitably, we got completely lost.
4.
Yes, it was one of the best matches I've seen, and they deserved to win it. Oh, by the way, are you going to Jeff's leaving do on Friday?
5.
Why has Susan split up with Peter?
Well, basically, she was fed up with him working all the time.
6.
That was such a good film, wasn't it?
And to tell you the truth, I didn't really enjoy it. It was too long and I thought the plot was pretty implausible.
7.
I've just had my blood pressure checked. Alarmingly, it's way higher than it should be.
8.
You can't really make judgments about Maria's work performance at this point. After all, she's only been in the job for a month.
9.
I can't believe that Colin is thinking of buying your old heap of a car. Surely he's not that stupid.
10.
I'm not keen to go away on holiday next month. I'd like to do some work on the house, and I don't want to be too far away from my parents at the moment. Besides, I can't afford it.
9.10. The Night I Heard Caruso Sing. Nine point 11. Complete the lines. 1.
My team are playing tonight. They're rubbish at the moment, so I'm sure they're going to lose.
2.
I didn't find the exam easy. I thought it was really tough.
3.
We should have got a free kick before they scored that goal. It was a definite foul.
4.
We didn't drive back the same way. We took a different route.
5.
Ugh! Keith dropped his burger on the floor, picked it up and carried on eating it. It was really gross.
6.
I don't mind where we go on holiday this year. You can choose.
7.
After 6 days of constant heavy rain, there were terrible floods.
8.
The apples on that tree aren't ready to eat yet. They taste really sour.
9.
I like fantasy video games because people don't usually fight with guns, they use swords.
10.
My car's broken down. Could you give me a tow to the garage?
11.
Let's visit Jenny in hospital. I'll find out which ward she's on.
12.
That door won't open if you pull it. You have to push.
9.12. Rhyming expressions. 1.
We spent 5 hours on Oxford Street. We really shopped till we dropped.
2.
I can't understand the appeal of a hiking holiday in Iceland. I guess it's horses for courses.
3.
We actually saw all the stars after the film. They were doing a quick meet and greet in the cinema foyer.
4.
No, I did not cheat at all when I beat Jim at tennis. I won fair and square.
5.
Gosh, it's hard to remember how popular this Prime Minister was after the election. He's gone from hero to zero in less than 6 months.
6,
We're not inviting too many people to the wedding, just our nearest and dearest.
7,
You should go to Paris for a weekend if your French is getting rusty. Use it or lose it.
8,
We couldn't get into the bar to buy a drink during the interval. It was chock-a-block.
9,
Derek is full of plans and ideas, but he needs to walk the talk and show us what he can do.
10,
I want to know exactly which companies are avoiding paying tax in this country. They should be named and shamed.
9.13 Sentence stress.
Mum makes cakes. Our mum makes cakes. Our mum makes the cakes. Our mum'll make the cakes. Our mum'll be making the cakes. Our mum'll be making all the cakes.
9.14 Sentence stress. Listen and repeat.
Mum makes cakes. Our mum makes cakes. Our mum makes the cakes. Our mum'll make the cakes. Our mum'll be making the cakes. Our mum'll be making all the cakes.
9.15 Using key words.
Queen's Hall. Help.
Book tickets. Flamenco. Saturday?
Saturday sold out.
Really? Disappointing. Tickets other dates?
Yes, 4, Sunday. Interested?
Yes, great. 2 tickets.
Stalls, circle.
How much circle?
£20. Stalls, £40. Fantastic seats, near stage.
Take stalls. Debit card?
Of course. Card details, number, front.
5610 5910 8101 8250
Security number, back.
713.
Thank you. Bring card, collect tickets.
Certainly. Thanks, help.
Welcome.
9.16 Stress and intonation.
Queen's Hall, how can I help?
Could I book some tickets for the flamenco concert on Saturday?
I'm afraid the Saturday concert is sold out.
Oh, really? How disappointing. So are there tickets for other dates?
Yes, we've got 4 tickets left for Sunday. Would you be interested in those?
Yes, that would be great. I only need 2 tickets.
Would you like seats in the stalls or the circle?
How much are the seats in the circle?
They're £20. The ones in the stalls are £40, but they're fantastic seats, very near the stage.
I'll take the seats in the stalls then. Can I pay by debit card?
Of course. Could I take your card details? What's the number on the front?
It's 5610 5910 8101 8250.
And the security number on the back?
713.
Thank you. Could you make sure you bring that card when you collect the tickets?
Certainly. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.